How's it going, you guys? Crypto Mike here with the mic check 1212. Is this thing on? Now, please share your excitement with we've got Brad Kam, who is the co-creator of Unstoppable Domains. He's here to he's here to tell us give a little announcement and then also that just show us what Unstoppable Domains is all about. Why they're here, what they're doing, what they hope to change in this world. Like, why should we even be concerned over Unstoppable Domains? Like, what is this company? What are they doing? And so we're going to go over those. We'll kind of maybe glance over the website and answer some questions. That a lot of people have had. Like, why is a .crypto domain better than a .com domain? Like the traditional ones, things like that. So welcome. Thanks a lot, Brad, for joining me.
Thanks a bunch. Excited to be here.
Excited for you to be here, man. So let me go ahead and let's just let's clear the first thing. First of all, can we kind of maybe go over what your announcement is?
Sure. So the announcement is that Lobstr wallet, which I believe is the largest Stellar wallet, is going to be integrating and supporting blockchain domains for payments. So this means that you're going to be able to send Stellar using a human readable domain instead of having to type in the long address. And this will work inside of multiple Stellar wallets, and the same domain will work no matter what crypto you're sending. So I've got brad.crypto right now. You could send me Bitcoin, or you could send me Ethereum, or you could send me Stellar, or you could send me Ripple. You can send all different currencies all to this one domain. So it's kind of like having a Venmo account for all your crypto that you control completely. Venmo can't shut you off. The real Venmo, of course, can shut you off.
Right.
Unstoppable cannot shut you off.
That's cool. So it's decentralized.
Yes.
That's really seems to be a really good use case for for a domain. So if you had your own like brad.com, you can't receive crypto from there. You can't receive crypto on that domain, and it's not decentralized. They could shut you down.
I think the biggest
So
difference between a regular domain and a blockchain domain is that users are in control. So the domain name is actually sitting inside of your crypto wallet. And this is very different than your .com domain, which is controlled by GoDaddy or whatever other registrar you're using. So here, you store it inside of your wallet, and that's actually the reason why nobody can take it away from you or move it around or make updates or change your website or change your payment addresses, nothing, unless they have the private key. So somebody literally has to go get your phone and go get your private key if they want to be able to take away your domain name.
just like with crypto, yeah, I mean, it's like an NFT. Your domain is an NFT. It's non-fungible token. There's only one of them, right, in the world.
That's
And you
exactly
could add your cryptos, your addresses, and there's a whole list. I mean, I don't know how many you guys support so far, like 40 or 30 different
uh,
cryptos, a lot of the main ones.
maybe 80 so far, and the goal is to support all of them.
Yeah, that's really, it's mind blowing once you think about it. This will probably be the pathway to a future of not having to use, addresses anymore as much. It'll be different. It'll be a lot easier to, because most people, no one knows any of their addresses by heart, but you will be able to easily give your brad.crypto domain to anyone who needs to send you money. Hey, you want to send me rent money? And this is like way in the future, but maybe not as far in the future as most people think. But we will be paying rent with cryptocurrency. It'll happen eventually. I wish I could right now, but most my landlord won't take it. He won't take crypto yet. But
Mm-hmm.
like me, I have the crypto Mike YT.crypto. Anyone, I can just give that out, and then all I have to do is add my addresses to it. Anyone can send me any crypto that they want just through that. Now, but right now it's you guys are on Coinbase. Like which wallets support that? Not wallets, but exchanges. Like where can you send to right now?
Yeah, so it's mostly wallets right now. There's about 2 dozen of them: Coinbase wallet and MyEther wallet and Huobi wallet and Trust wallet and Coinomi and Atomic and now Lobstr. The goal is for it to work across every wallet and exchange, and I think we'll be there in the next year or two. But it's been moving along pretty quickly. Wallets and apps are excited about it.
So with the Lobster integration, what kind of milestone is that for you guys?
It's the first place that you can use, you can send Stellar with your domain names. And so, Stellar has, I think, been a missing piece of this ecosystem so far. Of those couple dozen wallets that I mentioned, they don't support Stellar. So this has actually been the first opportunity for our users, and our users have been asking us for this for quite a while, for how can they find a place to send Stellar, and this is the first option, and it's also, I believe, the largest Stellar wallet.
Lobster, that's the first one I ever used until Ledger started supporting Stellar. So yeah, Lobster's a good wallet. I've always liked it. Yeah. Well, that's great, man. Congrats on adding Stellar finally. Stellar's finally starting to make a dent. Even though I have a feeling in the background they've been doing a lot, but we're starting to see what they've been doing come to light, and now more integrations. And I have a feeling they're going to be part of the DeFi space. People are going to start noticing a little more. It's not just a payments company; it's like they're all over the board. So so what? Okay, what now? How like? What's the difference? There's a dot crypto that you can buy as far as on the website. Um, I don't know if you could share the website or not. If you but there's a dot zil and there's a dot crypto. There we go. Cool. Now, what is the difference between those two? And where did dot zil come from? Is that a signal, or is like something big happening with Zill? I mean, like maybe that's one that I need to focus on a little more.
So when we started out, the first thing we did was we built a registry on the Zilliqa blockchain as in a partnership with them, and so that's why it's called .zil. It was our first one, and we launched it in I believe in middle of 2019. And then the second one we launched was .crypto, which is on Ethereum. And so functionally, there's not that much difference, but the networks themselves have a little bit of trade off. So, like for example, it's very very cheap to do transactions on Zilliqa blockchain. So if you wanted to make updates to your domain or do any kind of fancy transactions with your domain, those would be super duper cheap. If you do those same transactions on Ethereum for .crypto, they might be $5 or $10 or something like that. So it's mostly a cost thing, and then on the other side, Ethereum just has a lot more integrations, so it's a lot easier for apps to support it. So those are kind of the main differences. One is cheaper but has less integrations. The other one's more expensive but has more integrations.
Okay. Cool. So there's the options there. And we'll be seeing sure more options in the future. Now what with domain squatting, how are you handling issues on domain squatting? I know that's kind of an issue in certain areas, but not other areas. How are you guys handling that?
So I think a lot of people do buy domains with the thought that maybe they're going to hang on to them for a few years and then maybe do something with them down the road, or whatever. So that's a common behavior, even with regular domains. Something there's nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't consider that a bad thing. Now there is an area of domain squatting, which is buying brand names, like buying brand domains. And that's
Mhm.
something that we've been actively trying to avoid. And so we have a process for called Sunrise, similar to what a traditional domain registry would do, where you essentially reserve the brand names for those companies. So, for example, Coinbase, or um, big companies like Walmart or whatever. So all of these domains have been reserved for those companies. So if you go on our website, you'll see protected. That's what protected means. It means that it's protected for a specific brand, and those brands can just claim them. And so that's the idea. We want to make sure that these companies can onboard, and if somebody's taken their brand name, then they can't use this technology. So and also it occurs to people very early on, like, you first go to the website, you go and check, oh, maybe Coinbase hasn't claimed yet, see if I can grab it real quick. So it's something that a lot of people think to do, and that's another reason why it was important to go and do that process and protect those brands. I think there's like a million of them protected or something like that, and that's going to help make the decentralized web more successful, because all of these companies, crypto companies and non-crypto companies, can all participate.
So there's a trade-off, and it's a big one, but it's not that. There you basically block certain ones from being bought for now, because that's gonna further advance the the nature of crypto, and how more big names get into it and start realizing they can. I mean, what if like Nike or something, or Coinbase, like what if a huge company added crypto addresses to their domain, and like they could just do so much, and they would actually talk about it, and it's going to be this kind of actually seems like it's going to be a craze. I wouldn't say it's a craze yet. Well, I mean, based on my personal experience, I don't see people like scrambling to get these and that, but I do see people mumbling, and I hear more and more about these domains being talked about. So if these big brands can get on board and it's easily available for them, they don't have to hunt around trying to find someone to sell on their domain. That's going to be a lot better for crypto in general, for decentralization and the whole movement, into this new financial, this new financial system. Um, Thanks for that was a great answer. I also um, I have another question. I'm all about free speech. How are these domains going to create an opportunity for free speech? We had a lot of problems lately. A lot of people not happy with um, the freedom of speech lately. It's just seems you get blocked for this or that, or who knows. You don't know if you're going to get blocked. Then you get blocked, and then what do you do from there? But now we are starting to see solutions come about. So, what are you guys doing like that will help with the free speech aspect of human nature, of society?
So this is just a core feature of blockchains. And so what winds up happening is that it's just like your money. So just like your Bitcoin or your Ethereum or your Stellar or whatever is sitting inside of your wallet and you control it and no one can take it away from you, the same is true for your domain name. So your domain name is stored inside of your wallet. It's an NFT. No one can take it away from you. Unstoppable domains can't take it away from you. Uh, and as a result of that, means that you can use it for essentially whatever you want. You can point your website to it. You can put your website up on a decentralized storage network like IPFS, where no one can take that down either. And then all of a sudden, you've got a website that only you can put up or take down. And that's very different than the way that the current internet works, where the current internet, it's quite easy to take somebody down. Somebody just calls up GoDaddy and says, take this domain away, and they do. Or they call up Amazon Web Services and they say, hey, shut this website down, and they do. And it's less of a problem in the US, but it's a very big problem around the world. And I think a lot of us are concerned about it, but it's actually quite a big problem around the world. Maybe even 2/3 of the world experiences a pretty heavily censored internet.
It's yeah, we really don't think about it as much here, but you're right. Like China, I mean, there's countries that will not let them see most of what we are able to see. I mean, North Korea being the prime example. Look at them. They're blocked off. Hopefully the world will be able to, be just decentralized, and no central authority or figure will be able to impose their ideas on the humanity, like, and shift what they think based on what they want. A lot of corruption and stuff like that. So I appreciate your answer on that. So the Lobstr integrating domains, that's big with Stellar. That's huge. That's great because now Stellar's payments, that's payments. Now you finally got Stellar, which is a payments company, on board. Now, are there more technical challenges ahead, or how are you guys doing with the challenges you've come across doing this whole project?
I think the toughest part probably about, well, there's a couple of parts that are tough about building on blockchain, but one of them is that the tools just aren't very good yet. If you're a developer and you're building on WordPress, or you're building on Ruby on Rails, or any of these tools that developers use right now, they're pretty advanced. They've had 20 years of time, maybe 25 years of time now to build since the internet kind of got going. And so a lot of that stuff is quite good. The developer experiences are really good. It's very easy to go onto Stack Exchange or whatever and go find answers to things. Some people have built a little module here and there. For the crypto world, it's just not like that yet. It's too early. So most of the stuff doesn't exist yet, and so you find yourself writing a lot of code for things that are not necessarily core. So that's one thing, is just a lot of extra stuff you have to do. And then two, because it's on the blockchain and the pressure is really high, like the domain name application, the smart contracts, it's actually on a blockchain. That's like a space shuttle launch. Like once it's up there, it's very hard to change it. You basically can't change it. And so you got to get it right when you launch it. It's not, that's very different than like a regular app. If you're building a regular app and you build with a bug, you just, update it, tell everybody, sorry, you're going to have a weird experience on the website for a day, and you update it and then you're good. You can't
Mhm.
do that if an application is on the blockchain. So the stakes are just so much higher, which makes everything just take a lot longer. It means you got to have a lot more eyes on stuff. You got to be checking a million times. So those are some of the harder parts.
Yeah, you're right. It's basically the early bird gets the worm. It takes a lot more work, patience. I'm sure it's a lot more frustrating building this new decentralized finance. And everything that comes with it. You don't have much to build on. You're building the whole thing, and it's the whole crypto space right now seem to be kind of trying to get this up and running all together. And so that's a great thing that there's a lot of unity in crypto space. So this will, I mean, I have a feeling domains, unstoppable domains is gonna take off. you know Probably, starting now, next year it's gonna be doing you guys are gonna be doing wonderful. And people will be buzzing more and more about it, especially when crypto itself becomes mainstream, which it's all tied together. Um so what kind of like societal impact do you think this will have um on our society? Do you think this is going to make big changes right away? It's going to be gradual. Do you think people will be receptive? Are people receptive to you guys, to what you guys are doing? What do you hear from people, and like how do you think it'll change over time the way we live as a society?
I mean, I think that when, the part that we were just talking about was how hard the tech is, and I think that is a challenge. I think the good news is that people really want this. Like when we talk about how there's no, you don't have control on the internet, like people care about this. Even non-crypto people, they care about it. They
Mhm.
worried about what's happening with Facebook. They're worried about what's happening with these other platforms. They're worried about decisions that are being made for who can say what. They're worried about their data being taken from them and sold. And all of this boils down to the one problem. This is like the original sin of the internet. There's no property rights. There's no digital property rights. Somebody else controls your domain name and leases it to you. Somebody else stores your data, your pictures, your friends, all of your most important information. That's stored by some other company, and they basically own it. Like they get to sell that and they don't give you a cut. Like you do not have rights over your own digital property. And this is a really weird thing if you just think about it from the perspective of, how did humanity develop? Especially in America, we had a really, really strong notion of property rights. This is my house. This is where my land is. I get to decide what happens on this property. That's legally mine. And if you cross into it, like, I can take an action. I can force you to leave. You can't just come onto my porch and steal my stuff. None of that exists on the internet. People can take whatever they want from you. They are taking whatever they want from you. This is just a fundamentally broken thing about the internet. And people know this, like, they're aware of this. They don't necessarily know that there's a solution. And I think the decentralized web is the potential solution, but they definitely know there's a problem. They definitely know that they have fewer rights and less control over their life, over their digital life, than they do over their physical life. And that's just because companies got in there really early and just started doing it this way, and it just kind of got out of hand. Like, initially, when we didn't have that much important, not when only a small part of our life was digital, was on the internet, we weren't worried yet. So, in 2000 or 2005 or whatever, we weren't paranoid yet because we didn't have all of our most important things online. Now we've got everything online. Now we've got all of our financial transactions, and we've got all of our data. We've got essentially the record of our entire lives online. So the stakes are so much higher now. So I think that the demand for this solution is really, really big. Now, how we get people to go and transition from the regular internet to this new user controlled internet is just gonna take some time. But crypto users are the pioneers of the decentralized web. They're the first users.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have these problems. They understand the philosophy. They understand what's broken. They want to change the system. And so they're the ones that are coming in first. Those are the people, when people ask us, like, who are your customers? Who are people buying domains right now? It's crypto
Yeah.
users.
Crypto users, yeah. People who watch my channel, people who watch other people's channels. We see what's happening, but it's still very, very new. That's why I went and bought it. Like, as soon as I discovered this, I well, it took me a few months because I had just heard about it a little here and there. And I got a few friends telling me, hey, I'm buying domains. I mean, these things could be worth a lot someday. Or, there's also, yeah, that's what some of my friends are doing. And I said, well, what, I'm not gonna try to like I'm not going to try to flip them, but I did go and buy. I went to go look for my own name, Crypto Mike dot crypto, and I couldn't find it. Someone took it, so someone went around to all the YouTubers and they bought their names up. All the crypto YouTubers. Now I'm expecting them to like try to sell it to me someday, but so I went and I bought my Twitter handle up right away for my own use, XX Mike check XX dot crypto. Now I've got it. I actually stored it. I was just messing around with the functions and the features you have. I actually custodied it on Gemini.
Mhm.
Just to do it. I just I wanted to see these functions, what you guys have to offer. And then there's another one that I actually verified with Chainlink.
Right.
It's for a little bit of an extra price, but it's verified and tagged. Could you explain that a little more to me? The Chainlink to Twitter verification.
Yeah, totally. And just to call out the custody thing, the reason why that's kind of big is, so blockchain domains have a problem that regular domains don't have. Same problem that cryptocurrencies have, which is you got to store your own private keys. And if you lose them, then your money's gone, your domain's gone. And not everybody wants to do that. Some people want to trust an exchange in order to just keep it safe for some period of time. So that's why we have the Gemini option. You can store it yourself, but just know that if you do store it yourself and you lose it, it's gone. There's no customer service line to call. It's
Right.
gone. You got to have your private key.
It's a new
So
paradigm of responsibility and accountability, people. But now there's going to be that custodying. But is there a reason you guys are with Gemini as your first custody solution? Is there any others in mind for partnerships or for usage? And then what's the deal with Gemini? Because I love Gemini. I love them. There's other people who are like, I don't like Gemini. There's not liquidity on the exchange. You know what? Guess what? They're doing everything the right way. I like Gemini. I like what they're doing. I believe it's going to be a huge exchange someday.
so Gemini is they're first movers in the NFT world. They bought an NFT company called Nifty Gateway that does a bunch of art stuff. They already have some services where you can custody those NFTs. So they're just they've been the most kind of forward thinking exchange on the NFT category so far. Now, ultimately, I think all exchanges are going to do this, and there's several more that we're having conversations with to also integrate as well. But they're just a first mover and great partner, and they also are really good at licensing. So they have like a bank license basically. So they have a very secure system, and they kind of went and made a case basically to the regulators for like, hey, there's this blockchain domain thing out there. Here's how it works, and we're going to do it. And they got permission. So they also kind of were trailblazers, being the first ones to get explicit permission to store a domain name.
Interesting. Very good. I like hearing that. Do you think if any kind of regulations are imposed anytime soon, if that's going to affect you guys at all?
I mean, domain names are a very different category. Most of the stuff that I think the regulators are concerned about is mostly about currencies and exchanging and things like that. I
Hmm.
don't really think that these other blockchain assets are going to be a particular problem. They behave very differently, have different goals.
Right.
So I'm not particularly worried.
So is there a way you could pull up the unstoppable domains, and could you just show my viewers here what the different, like, the addresses you can tag to your domain? Like, could you just show them like how easy it is? Um,
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going into, so if you go to our website, it starts out with search bar. So you can just find a new domain, and you'll see you can just go and check out. You can pay with credit card or crypto or PayPal, super easy.
Crypto.
Um,
That's what I pay with crypto, and that's another thing I think my viewers should know. You can pay with your crypto gains. I mean, why not? If crypto looked, I always tell my people that, but we're going to be paying with crypto, and then, but when 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 the prices get high, that's when people will want to pay more with crypto. So,
So I just went into my domains and I clicked my domain, brad.crypto. And now you can see here, I just have these fields. So I just copy and paste my address. I save it. And when I save it, I'm signing a message with my private key and saying, hey, I own this domain. I also, here's my wallet address for this particular currency. And then wallets can then go and find that information, read it off the blockchain. And then when I type in brad.crypto, all of the other stuff just happens magically in the background. It goes and finds my crypto address based on whatever currency I'm trying to send, plugs that in, and then it works.
I can send money. I can, Ethereum, for instance. I can send it. So in the wallet, I just type in brad.crypto, and then I can send it to, does it give me an option like Ethereum, or do I tap Ethereum as opposed to Bitcoin or something? Or
You don't even need to do that. You just go into the send field. So if you're in Lobstr wallet and you go into the Stellar send field, it just figures it out and goes and finds your Stellar address. If you're in a wallet that has 20 different currencies, you just go into whichever send field that you want to go to, and it'll just work.
okay, that's really innovative. That's awesome, man. Um, cool. That's and then also the website part. Would you mind showing us that?
Yeah.
The
So this is
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the part that I think is super different about, one of the parts that's super different about blockchain domains is they do more stuff. So you can receive money to brad.crypto. You can also go and check out or build a website. And so these websites are launched on IPFS or other decentralized storage networks. And what's happening with those is that dozens or hundreds of different people are all storing a copy of your website on their computer, and that's what makes it censorship resistant. Instead of just having Amazon store it, you've got hundreds or thousands of different people all around the world that are all storing your website. And
Cool.
so what we've made here are really simple tools for you to launch websites. And so this is kind of like our really early version of like decentralized Wix or something like that. Where you've got like very basic like templates and you can edit this stuff. We're in like 1997 internet level. This is nothing fancy. It's
Fair
not
enough.
not going to be your, but these tools are meant to be for non-technical users, If you're a developer, you can just build whatever you want. You get a
Right.
little hash from IPFS, and then you just copy and paste that and tie it to your domain. So developers are building much more complicated websites, but the things that we have in our software are, in our app are just kind of basic templates for now.
So to me, it kind of seems like what you guys are offering right now is it's like a more it's like handing someone your business card. It has all your information kind of, and then it has all the links, and then it has your wallet, and then it's like it's all an all-in-one kind of, and then eventually you're saying that it's going to probably become a little more robust. I'm guessing, is that what you're saying since it's early?
Yeah, and what's really happening here is domain names are taking on a lot more responsibility in this world than they did in the old world. In the old world, all they were doing was just being a place for you to point your website. In the new blockchain world, it's your payment gateway, it's your
Yeah,
website, it's your chat. Maybe it's even your decentralized login. It can
yeah.
be so much more than a traditional domain, and that's really the difference. And all of this comes down to I now have a private key. I have a name, and I have a private key associated with that name that allows me to sign and make updates and verify that I'm the right person. So the biggest problem we have on the internet is you don't know who's real and who's not. You got 500 million fake Facebook accounts. That was the whole thing with the 2016 hacking. It was all about identity. It was all about making a bunch of fake accounts.
Hmm.
And this technology, having a private key associated with a name, solves that problem.
Yeah. Wow. Good stuff. For now, I think that's what all I'm going to ask you because I uncovered a lot of info just from this little interview. A great explanation of all that stuff because now I understand it, even though I talked to you guys a little while ago, but now even I understand it even more. Hopefully, my viewers understand it more. And thanks a lot for being here. Thanks for doing this interview.
Of course, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just all this innovation is fun. If you can't see what's fun about it, you're just boring. Not you, but people who if you don't see you don't see what's going on. I'm sorry for you. That's about it. I'm sorry for you. But anyways, so I guess that will conclude my interview with you. You guys also down in the description is the link. It's my referral link for Unstoppable Domains. Go check it out. Most of the domains are $40. It's not that much for what it promises, the kind of technology you're getting. You can build websites. You can add your crypto addresses. It's an all-in-one for you. Eventually, maybe you'll be able to sign in with it. It's just, and that's where we're headed. I see that coming. A lot. And now Stellar's integrated. What's next? It's gonna get even better. I'm glad I bought a bunch of domains, a few months ago. I'll keep buying them if any really good ones come to mind for me. Um, with that said, is there anything else that you'd like to say? Or
No, this has been great. I think we did a pretty good overview.
Yeah, very good. Thanks a lot, Brad, and hopefully you'll be on again, and we can chat a little bit more in the future after maybe some more advancements are made, maybe next after the bull run or so. We'll see what happens after all that. But thanks a lot for being here, Brad,
Of course, yeah, would love to be back.
for sure. Thanks a lot. Well, I'll talk to you later then.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.